Hi everyone, Christy here with my best buddy with another episode of Dog Training at the Kitchen Table, and I wanted to have a conversation about a question I get asked weekly. And this morning I woke up to one of my Facebook groups and somebody had posed this very question. When can I stop using food when training my dog? And when I hear this question, what I hear is, when can I stop using reinforcement? There will be trainers out there that will say, there are different forms of reinforcement. Yes, I know that. We're going to get to that in a minute. But when I hear someone say, when can I stop using food? I hear, when can I stop using reinforcement? When can I quit reinforcing my dog for behaviors? And when will my dog just know what to do? And that the question this morning was very specifically, I understand that I can use toys, but I'm wondering when I can quit using reinforcement altogether. When can I stop reinforcing my dog for behaviors? When will they just know? Okay, so that question this morning was that specific. But even if it isn't that specific, when someone asks me when they can quit using food, that's what I hear. When can I quit reinforcing my dog? Now, the reason I hear that is because if you are so dog and training savvy that you already understand that there are different reinforcements besides just food, you understand there are different reinforcements than just toys, and that there are things called real life reinforcements. So walking out the front door or even being let out the back door into the fenced-in yard are reinforcements by themselves, and moving forward on a leash. You know, if you're out for a walk, if you want to continue moving forward, you have to stop pulling, so on and so forth. Those are considered real life reinforcements, and we can get in. There's like so many more. You can permission to chase something, permission to go sniff something, on and on. So the person who's asking, when can I stop using food, is not so savvy that they understand that there are other reinforcements to use. Okay, so I'm directing this towards people who are having a hard time with their different forms of reinforcement. But with that being said, even if we weren't going to do real life reinforcements, I am always fascinated. In the 14 years I've been training dogs, I have had this question weekly. Somebody in a class, somebody in a private lesson, somebody online wants to know when they can stop using food and when they can stop reinforcing the dog and when the dog will just know. But in 14 years of practice, no one has ever asked me, when can I stop correcting my dog? So whether we're using a gentle leader, a front clip harness, a prong collar, or a remote collar, no one has ever said, when can we stop using this? I'm kind of fascinated by the mindset that's in a hurry to quit paying, but not in a hurry to quit correcting. Now, the question this morning that was online was posed to a reinforcement-based Facebook group, so I'm sure they're not doing corrections, but for other people in other circumstances and situations, they're not in a hurry to quit using whatever the training device is. So we put the dog on a head halter, we put the dog on a prong collar to stop pulling, and they go, oh, phew, that was the answer I was looking for. And they never say, well, when don't I have to use the prong collar anymore? When don't I have to use the head halter anymore? So I don't understand why people are in such a hurry to get rid of food, but not in a hurry to get rid of corrections. Also, I want you to think about it like a paycheck. At what point at your job are you going to quit working for a paycheck? If your boss said, hey, you've been here for 3 years and I think you know what you're doing, I don't think you need to get paid for it anymore. You just know what to do now. You don't need reinforcement for it. We would never accept it. We would never continue to work for that person. Now, what we do is you either get paid weekly or bi-weekly. And so you work longer and harder to earn that reward. And the reward isn't hanging in front of your face, sort of bribing you the whole time, right? You don't see your paycheck until you get paid. So same with dogs, you can get to a point that your reinforcement is not on your person all the time. You might not always have your treat pouch on. I know when I was working with my husky to come when called in from the backyard, when she would come to the door, I would take her by the collar and walk her to the treat. So I'm standing in the doorway with nothing obviously on me. No treat bag, no treats in my pocket. My hand isn't in my pocket like I'm bribing her to come. She's coming on faith that I'm going to take her to the reinforcement. So you have to know when and how to use your reinforcements. So your dog does not depend on seeing it. I understand that concept. Like, I don't want to have it in my hand all the time. I don't want to have to lure all the time. We need to know how to use real life reinforcements, which are actually very difficult for most people to say. Your dog is not allowed to sniff on a walk until you tell them they can. So that reinforcement, that very powerful reinforcement, comes through you. So you're more relevant to your dog. It's very difficult for people to want to wrap their mind around that and to do it, to implement it, because they want their dog to just be dogs, And I understand that. I'm not berating anybody, but if you want to stop using food, then you need to get really good at using different reinforcements. And you need to get really good at convincing your dog that the reinforcement is going to come, but they need to work a little longer or a little harder to earn that reinforcement, much like you earn your paycheck. Okay, so that was just some food for thought. Thank you for joining me for this episode at Dog Training at the Kitchen Table.